In this video, I'm just pretty much going to be speaking about the things that changed my life, right? The things that actually allowed me to see results. I got success from e-commerce, but I kind of want to touch on a few points that actually changed my life. So, make sure that you are staying through it for the whole video to get the germs that I use. And I'm sure everyone that's successful can pretty much relate to what I'm saying. So the first thing that I want to speak on, just from my journey, just to put you on my journey, I started as a waiter. Fast forward, I went into e-commerce, right? So I was a waiter for 3 weeks, and I earned $40, which is about 800 rand in South Africa, because I'm originally from South Africa. And from there I started selling products on WhatsApp, and then from WhatsApp I transitioned to Instagram. I went to influencers, then Facebook ads, which then led me to dropshipping, right? And from now, dropshipping, I also do make a bunch of money from personal brand and speaking to you guys. So right, let me tell you guys the things that actually changed my life and that allowed me to have some level of freedom, right, in life. I won't say I have all the freedom, but I just want to kind of speak to those that need that conversation, right? So the first thing that actually changed my life is showing up. Action. Number one is action. The first thing that I want to speak about is nothing is going to change in your life if you don't take action. Nothing is going to change in your life if you actually do not show up, right? So that's the first thing that actually changed my life. And how this changed my life is I was going to work for 3 weeks straight, walking to work as a waiter to earn that first $40 I've ever made. If I didn't walk there, which is action, I really wouldn't have gotten there, right? So that's the first thing I want to speak to you guys about. And that's something that I learned just from being a waiter. So even if you're doing a 9 to 5, you only make money from showing up. So action is super, super important. Then the second thing that I want to jump into, the second thing that actually changed my life and started showing me results, this was after I was a waiter, when I started selling on WhatsApp and all, is consistency. I only started to see a difference in my life when I was consistent. When you show up every day, every single day, and show up every single day for everything that you're doing, you start to see different results. You start to see better results, good results, simply because you are showing up. It's so important to be consistent and show up. This was a very, very major key in my life, to allow me to kind of experience different things. It was the first thing that allowed me to pretty much get a car, because for me to get my first car, which was a Kia Picanto, by the way, was from simple consistency, right? And then the third thing that I want to bring to you guys that actually kind of really changed my life, I got my second car after I was consistent as well. The third thing that changed my life, guys, is investing, right? Giving. When you start giving, you get back. It just works like that. I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard it in many different places. It's like a spiritual principle. When you give, you get. So how it happened in my life was I was selling this product I was selling. I've exposed it before, and I started giving this product to influencers, which it resulted to me giving. So when I gave, I got back. When I was giving that product, I was getting a lot of people coming just from the influencers. And also how it kind of impacted my life, you always have less fortunate people around you, and what was happening is I was giving less fortunate people the small money that I had, all those different things. So that's the third thing that really, really changed my life. Giving really changed my life. And then now let's move on to the fourth thing that you need to actually get good results. And this is as organic as any video you can ever get on the internet. No pauses, nothing. The fourth thing that you can ever want, this is the fourth thing that I was speaking about, man. It's okay. The fourth thing that you can want is skill. Having a skill in a certain department can ultimately change your life. Because for me, I started getting into the 6-figure range. When I had consistency and when I was taking action and when I was showing up and giving, I was still in my 5 figures, but once I actually focused on mastering a certain skill like marketing and sales, is when I went to that 6, 7, 8-figure mark, right? That is what made the hugest difference, which is why sometimes people go to university and study for so long, because they are mastering a skill, right? This is something very important that everybody needs to go. And if you are watching the video and you're still here, I really appreciate it. for you're making it for this long. Make sure you are commenting, you are subscribing, liking, and doing all that good stuff to keep my YouTube going, right? So I think I was speaking about the fourth thing, which is like skill. That's what kind of took me to 8 figures, not in profit, in revenue, just having skill. Now I think it's the fifth thing now that I want to speak about, and the fifth thing I want to speak about is just like being able to double down on what you know, right? And I'm trying to look for like a word to give you guys, but like, like once you figure out that you are good at something, or once you figure out that you have a certain skill, what you simply want to do is you want to go out there and you want to keep on multiplying it. Multiply that skill. Keep on doing exactly what it is you're good at. Even if it means teaching other people exactly what you do, then do that, because that is what gets you to the next level, right? I'm not going to speak on 9-figure stuff because I haven't been to 9 figures yet, but that is something that I do. Once I find that I have a skill, is I double down on things. Like, so let's take a real life example with my life. So for me, I started doubling down, like, multiplying ads, got that concept, and that concept got me to buy a couple of cars, move out the house. That was dope. And now what I'm doing is I'm actually realizing that this true skill, or the true gift that I got from God, is pretty much like marketing, connection to people like you out there, and actually like selling, which I am kind of doing without like being pushy and scammy. So now I have dropshipping stores, and now I kind of like teach people exactly how to find success with e-commerce, because I kind of have the roadmap. I've walked the walk, right? So just like doubling down on the skills that you have is like something you want to make sure that you are focusing on. Once you see something starting to work in your life, you want to make sure that you are doubling down on them, right? So those are pretty much like the skills that I would say you need to actually change your life. But now I want to conclude this video by speaking about the most important thing that allowed all these things to happen, like that allowed all these dominoes to happen, all this exponential growth to happen, was the most important, guys. My relationship with God. My relationship with God changed everything, right? So let me kind of like deep dive on my journey in faith without diving too deep. So you see, before, when I started business, I wasn't saved. I was out there doing all the crazy stuff, like all the crazy stuff you can pretty much think of. I was like, I've always just been the shy type of person, so the furthest I've went like was like weed and all. So yeah, like I was like that. And then like when I got saved, guys, like when I got saved, when I found Jesus, is when I pretty much found God and started following God's law intensely. I don't want to explain to you guys how fast the growth I went through was after like experiencing God. It's like absolutely truly amazing. Like everything I've ever wanted in my life, I pretty much got. And what's crazy is I still receive, just because of my relationship with God. So that's what kind of like happened to me after I got saved. Things really changed. Things really started to like take an uphill, and they probably still are. You like, even no matter what negativity or like everything that's happening around me, God just always has a way to lift me up, right? So I do want to say, like, yo man, make sure that you are having a relationship with God. I recommend Christianity. I'm Christian, and I believe in Jesus. Jesus is the one that's allowing all these things to happen for me. Salvation is right on my head. And yeah, man, that's what's happening. That's exactly how I found God, and I do truly believe that there is no other way. So you want to make sure that you are doing that. You want to go to church, you want to serve, you want to be doing that type of things of that nature. Reading the Bible. I can dive deeper. This video will literally be 2 hours long if I start diving deep into that. So it's very important that you guys do find God. You do knock on His door, and He'll come out and receive you well and also change your life. But yeah, man, that's like what I kind of really wanted to come out and speak about today. Barely do like these mindset type of videos, but I really did enjoy this one. Make sure you are commenting, subscribing, watching the previous videos, because I only like release good stuff and like release good stuff on YouTube. So yeah, you want to make sure that you are watching the rest of my content, which I would really appreciate. It would boost up like the YouTube algorithm, which will make things better for me anyway. And that type of support, if I get it from you, it can only mean growth for me, man. But yeah, hope you did enjoy today's video. It was a little bit different, and yes sir, I'll check you in the next one. Peace.